Hello, it's that time again. Hope you're all having a great start to your week. Greg Sher here with One on One. And today we are going to go off the beaten path. I promised it wouldn't always be about mortgage, but most of the time, if it's not, it will be about what it takes to win and be great and leadership. And who better to bring on to talk about what it takes to be great than a Hall of Fame jockey, 8th all-time in wins. Talk about being great. Over 7,000 wins, including the Kentucky Derby, including 2 Belmont Stakes, including 4 Breeders' Cup wins. He ranks among the most incredible athletes of all time in any sport, Edgar Prado. Edgar is going to join us now from his home in Hollywood, Florida. What's up, my friend?
Thank you so much, Greg, for this opportunity to be in your show. And I'm glad to see you again. It's been a while.
Oh, I just want to tell you right off the bat, it does not pay. Do you still want to stay on?
Excuse me?
It does not pay. I don't pay. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how great of an opportunity this is if it's not paying, but this is free. Good to see you, my friend. I should tell everyone that you and I have been very close friends now for I don't know how many years, 25 years?
Yeah, most likely 25.
Maybe more. I've seen so many of your tremendous accomplishments. Thank God you're still in one piece because that is a very, very dangerous sport, horse racing. How many times? Well, let's get through the bad stuff first. I don't know why. There's always good and bad, but how many times did you fall off a horse in the middle of a race in your
Mm,
career?
mm. I think it's about 10 times, maybe.
Yeah.
About
What's
10.
it? What's it? What was the scariest moment that you fell off a horse? You remember the race you were in and the position you were in and what happened?
I think the worst fall that I have was in Maryland, Pimlico. I was going, my gear gun machine, something like that. It was the name of the horse. It was going through to 2 horses and a horse outside coming in, and she clipped heels, and I I fall off, but then the filly fall right behind me, and she hit me and kind of lay on top of me. He broke my back in 3 places. And it was a scary moment because I was kind of knocked out, and they rushed me to the hospital, and thanks God I was able to keep moving my feet and my hands, and I was able to talk an hour, 2 hours later.
My goodness. Yeah, thank goodness. That's why I start off by saying thank goodness you're in one piece because it's such a dangerous sport. Now, you were born in Lima, Peru, and you had a dream as a kid of being a horse racing jockey. Take us back there. How early do you remember that you had this dream? How old were you? And how did you sort of first get into it?
Well, my father wanted to be a jockey, but unfortunately he was too heavy, and then he took everybody, all the boys, into the track. Two of my older brothers were jockey, and I was going to the track to see my older brother ride, and I was helping my father do his job in the morning. So I was going a pretty early age. I was like 4 or 5 years old, going early, help my father, and I started liking it. I started liking more every day, every year. But at the beginning, I only went to ride for a couple of years, make some money, and followed my studies. I want to be a lawyer, but I think the horse racing, the horses stole my heart, and then I just continued to ride.
Yeah, and you became one of the absolute best to ever do it, ever inducted into the Horse Racing Hall of Fame in 2008. You won the Kentucky Derby in 2006, and it's you can see behind you the silks of Barbaro, and this is a horse that gained national attention for the way that he exploded down the stretch to win the Kentucky Derby, and I'm gonna share this with folks, and then we'll talk about the unthinkable tragedy that happened several weeks later when you lined up at the Preakness Stakes to continue your quest to win the Triple Crown. And so we're just going to watch this. This will give people some memories, and then you'll tell us, kind of walk us through this moment here when Barbaro takes the lead at the top of the stretch in the Kentucky Derby. This horse was undefeated going into this race. Let's take a look now and see if I can pull this off.
Cat is six, but he's called out for more run as they run the five turn. There goes Sinister Minister. 3/4 in 10 and 4. And it's Sinister Minister. And here comes Barbaro. The undefeated Barbaro comes up on the outside. And he takes the lead as the field turns for home. And the Kentucky Derby, Barbaro turns it on. And his stablemate showing up as second. Bluegrass Cat is third. Brother Derek putting in a late run on the far outside. Steppenwolfer is fifth. And Sweet Northern Saints sixth toward the rail. But they're coming to the finish. And it is all Barbaro. In a sublime performance. He runs away from them all. And he has saved something left for the Preakness. Barbaro wins by 7. Bluegrass Cat is second. Steppenwolfer is.
Well, my friend.
Yeah, beautiful.
Can
Other
you
than see my kids born, that's a great experience and great satisfaction, to win this kind of race and such a special horse that he showed the world how great he was and he did it so easy. I never hit it. I only was encouraged him, and he just took off like a rocket. It was
when did you realize you had so much horse under you? And so what I mean by that, folks, because some of you might be watching that don't know horse racing, but how you knew you were sitting on a ton of power there. Was it all the way around, top of the stretch? Tell us.
Well, he broke okay. He didn't break that great, but he was such an athlete horse, athletic, and he got up right away and he took a good position. Going to the first turn, I was comfortable. By going the backside like a 5'8" pole, half a mile pole, he was such a beautiful rhythm. He was just cruising along, and I can see a couple of the jockeys making move inside, and I didn't worry about it. I mean, I had the feeling on my hands, that he was taking me for a beautiful ride. And when they move inside, I just kind of show my stick a little bit, and Barbaro grab the bit and go on. And say, "Oh my God, look at this!" And you can see around the turn, he start passing horses, and he start looking around. His ears going like this, He said, "Well, it's no competition here." And then top of the stretch, I only encourage him to level off or kind of continue to do his business because there's so many people around, there's so many things that can distract him because he was doing everything so easy. So that's why I kind of encourage him to go on and continue to do his job. And it was amazing.
What's it feel like to cross the finish line in front of 150,000 people for the most prestigious race known to man, and to do it so convincingly? Like that feeling of crossing the wire. What is that like inside?
Well, first, I was so blessed, that I was able to ride horses and be in this kind of horse, But all the hard work, all the things that you do to get there, comes to your mind, Like when I left my family in Peru, and all the hard works every day, I rode 7 days for 2 years, try to get my name going and to be recognized as one of the top jockeys. So everything come on mind, and that's the same year that I lost my mother, and the first thing come to my mind was my mother and my parents, that they never stop believe in me and give me the opportunity to continue my dream. So I think a lot of things happen in such a small period of time,
Yeah, I do. Yeah, let's look forward now to two weeks later. You line up in the Preakness Stakes. You're trying to grab that elusive Triple Crown. I think at the time only 11 had won the Triple Crown. This spans 140 years. So Triple Crown is winning the Derby, then the Preakness, then the Belmont Stakes in 140 so years or 130 years. Only 11 horses had been able to accomplish all three. So you go into the gates. I would imagine you were feeling pretty good, especially because you didn't use up much of Barbaro in the Derby. You just cruised. You weren't really whipping the horse. And so you were sitting on a ton again in the Preakness, and then the gates opened up, and moments later, Barbaro took a bad step. And, that the rest is kind of history. You jumped off the horse. You saved his life right there. Unfortunately, he would succumb to laminitis and some injuries associated with with that terrible day and would later be put to rest 9 months after that tragedy, but you developed such a great relationship with Barbaro. You even wrote a book, My Guy Barbaro, and what I want people to understand is that it's more than just a love for winning and losing and making money. It's a love for these animals. And just talk about the bond you had with Barbaro.
Yeah, well, I get along with him very well, and like I said, after winning the Kentucky Derby, it was no doubt in my mind that he could have won the Triple Crown. He was such a good horse, and when he come back after the Kentucky Derby, he wasn't even blowing. He wasn't even tired. He was just looking around, see all the people, And I was looking forward to the Preakness and bring some kind of joy to my good friends over there in Maryland because that's what I started and I was doing good. But unfortunately, this happened, and it's something that I don't know. I don't know how I can say that. I rode 38,000 horses, and maybe 100 horses go through the gate, and only one broke down, and it had to be Barbaro. I know. I guess it was our destiny, but I think Barbaro get all the fans together, all the people together to know that don't give up so easy. Try to keep fighting and trying to find a solution for or the cure for laminitis. And that has been taking a lot of good horses, over the
Yeah, and
years.
the whole world really fell in love with Barbaro. I mean, you were getting letters from all over the world. You had a statue erected in front of Churchill Downs, which stays there today. There, everyone loved Barbaro, right?
Yes,
And so
yes.
I guess that's the silver lining is that beautiful animal won the hearts of so many. I want to get into what it takes to be great. Let's have a conversation about what it takes to be great and how much work you had to put into being an elite athlete.
Well, I think you have to set your mind. I think you have to just don't give up. I think if the training opportunity goes by, don't wait there for the next one. Just move wrong to the other station and try to jump on it. I think try to be ready for any opportunity that comes available. Sometimes you got the opportunity, but you're not ready. So you say, hey, I never have a chance. You did have a chance, but you wasn't ready. So I'd rather be ready and don't have the opportunity that, than wait. Try to work hard. Don't carry on what happened yesterday to tomorrow or today. Just one pace at a time. Like when you ride 7 horses, you lose one race and turn the pace, ride the next one the best way you can. I think another thing is try to be polite and try to don't your feet don't leave the ground because it's a business, that can make you humble very quickly. So the same way you go up, the same way you come down. So I think that all these things that they be responsible, be a professional, try to work hard, and try to treat everybody the same way when you was nobody until you was someone. I think it's very important that you respect your friends and the restaurant because I think we try to everyone try to accomplish something, and the sentence is winning. It come from the hard worker, the exercise rider, the groom, the trainer, assistant trainer, and of course the horse and the jockey. It's a team together, and everybody put in their part to achieve this goal.
Yeah. Well, I know that when you were coming up, you worked a lot when other people were sleeping, and you would get to the track as you were trying to be great.
Mm.
How early in the morning? 3, 4, 5, whatever it takes. You would get there that early, right?
Yeah, when I first come here, no, I didn't have a car, and I was living very far. Like I was and car is like a 45 minutes drive. Because I didn't know how to drive, I was taking the bus and then jumping from one station to another station and trying to make it to my job in Calder. But if that's what it takes, why not? Just do it. Nobody's gonna come pick you up. They shouldn't put it a lot of effort, to accomplish something. And nobody's gonna do it for you.
Yeah. Very, very, very true. I hear your wife Lily scurrying about in the background here. She's hey, look, we all have stuff we're doing, right? So I wanna share just a couple more of your unbelievable moments here. You happen to have piloted the biggest long shot in the history of any Triple Crown race. When you consider that's about 450 races, right? When you add up the Derby, the Preaknesses, and the Belmonts, you won the Belmont Stakes in 2002 rather, so 22 years ago on a 70-1 shot. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah, this is Sarava, and Sarava's right over here, and let's just let this play out around the top of the stretch here.
Medaglia d'Oro by a neck, War Emblem. Proud Citizen looms a threat. He's on the outside third with 3 furlongs to go. Sarava, the big long shot, is winning in fourth. Sunday Break is fifth. Magic Wisner beginning to move up now on the outside. He's 7 lengths from the lead. And War Emblem is toiling as they turn for home. Medaglia d'Oro, Sunday Break. Sarava has come on through to take the lead. And War Emblem has given way. No Triple Crown for the 24th year. Here comes Sarava and Medaglia d'Oro, though, striding to the line together. Sarava on the outside. Medaglia d'Oro toward the rail. They're coming down to the finish. A huge upset is looming here under the line. Sarava has won the biggest long shot in the history of the Belmont Stakes at 70-1. Medaglia d'Oro was finishing second there. And farther back, Sunday.
And when you did that, you killed War Emblem's hopes for a Triple Crown. And you had done that before as well. You did that before as Birdstone upset.
No, that was after 2 years after.
Yeah. So no, I'm saying you've done it twice.
Yeah.
So I'm losing my mind here. Who was it that Birdstone repelled?
Smarty Jones.
Smarty Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And Smarty Jones was a really cheap horse too. That was like cost barely any money and almost won the Triple Crown. Edgar, you retired 14 months ago. It's one of the hardest things to do for an elite athlete. You hear these stories all the time about guys and women who are at the top of their game, and it's all they've ever known, and you reach the pinnacle of your profession. How much did it break your heart to walk away from riding, and does it still hurt today?
Yeah, the first time that I rode my first course was the happiest day of my life, and when I retired was the saddest day of my life. But I think it was time to retire, try to enjoy my family, try to spend some time with my grandkids. I think that it was time just to spend time with them and with my wife.
Yeah, so that's what you're doing now, and you're going to become a jockey's agent. I should say that you're probably not scrounging to figure out where you're going to get your next meal from. You made millions of dollars as a rider. Just under 300 million your horses were able to win, around 292 million. That ranks in the top 10 of all time. I'm curious to know. I mean, I'm just so fascinated by what you did for a living, man. I mean, and not just that, you shared it. You loved everyone. You signed autographs. You were so great to your friends. You were amazing to me. You got me tickets to everything. It's like you're like an idol to me. Like you're such an incredible person, and and athlete and human being and father and all those things. But there's only one other profession that fascinates me as much as being a jockey. That's being a pilot. Like, and they're similar, right? Like, how can you get something that weighs, however many tons off the ground and, guide it through thick and thin and storms? I mean, how can you get on a 1,200-pound animal and go through these tiny little crevices moving 30 to 40 miles per hour? I'll ask you the same question I'd ask a pilot. How dangerous is it being a jockey?
Well, it's that the thing is that like this is totally different from any other sport. It's 1 against 10 or 12 and 12 against 1. The only partner that you have is the horse. So try to compete and try to win, because the only jockey that gains the top prize or the big prize is the one that wins. We don't have a salary. We have a small amount of money.
Yeah, your commission only.
Yeah.
Just like in the mortgage business, man. You gotta close loans. You gotta close races, right? You gotta win, right?
So you have to win, and that's the only sport too that we try to beat each other, try to compete very aggressive during the race, but we come back to the one locker room. You know, everybody we share the sauna, we share the showers, you know, and sometimes we share the same corner with a different balance, you know. So I think it's the only sport because any other sport you can go to your own corner, you can go to your own locker room, and that's it. It's 10 against 10 or 2 against 2 or whatever. But in jockey, you know, is the only good partner to horse. That's it.
You know, we hear the clanking in the kitchen. I should say your wife, Lily, is one of the most incredible cooks ever. Even when you're doing this, and you probably asked her, please keep it down. She can't help herself. Uh,
Dice que
she,
no es bulla, Lili.
she makes unbelievable empanadas,
Yeah.
and I miss them. I may have to get on a plane just to come down and eat those. Edgar, appreciate you, man. Congratulations on all your success and for spending some time with us here on One on One.
Thank you so much, and really appreciate talking to you. We
Of
miss
course,
you
man.
too. We miss you too. Hopefully, we can get together. So have
Yeah, I
some
miss you too. I always miss you, bro. All right.
empanadas, some empanadas and good food.
Yeah, no, for sure. And now you can eat as much as you can. Before, all the dinners we've probably had 50 dinners.
Yeah.
You've always had to watch what you eat. That's
I
one
know.
thing we didn't get to talk about was keeping weight.
I
Like
know.
how difficult is it? I got to ask this question because a lot of people wonder this. How difficult is it to keep your weight? Like, are you constantly in the hot box? That's known as this thing that you go in. It's imagine hot yoga times 10 because you have to weigh in. And if you are not in compliance and you don't weigh a certain amount, you can't get on the horse. So how challenging was keeping your weight in your 20+ year career?
Well, it was very difficult, you know, but I was able to Lily did a good job with the diet. She was cooking a lot of healthy food, and I was only eating one meal a day. So,
That's crazy.
yeah.
But you didn't just get home after a tough day at work racing and just order a large Domino's with everything on it, right?
No, just I eat all different things, but in very small portion, you know. So because I have to do the same thing the next day.
Yeah.
And the more I eat, the more I have to reduce. So it really don't work to eat too much, you know.
Yeah.
And so I eat, and then I go to relax and sleep, and then do the same thing the next day.
Well, I think a lot of athletes have obviously to be at the top of your game, right? To be one of the best or play at the elite level, just the professional sports, right? NFL, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, horse racing, whatever. You have to stay in shape for the most part. And so some athletes, when they retire, they have a lot of making up to do. They're eating everything in sight. I mean, I can think of an athlete that I really admired as a kid, one of the greatest baseball players ever to play the game of baseball, who is now huge. For you, you've been out of the game for 14 months, but you've only gained what, 12 pounds?
No, 7, 8 pounds, 7, 8 pounds.
That's good.
Mm.
Will you ever get back to your playing weight? Will you think you do want
Oh,
like
yeah.
you get up and get on the scale and get pissed like, man, I got to get back down to that weight?
Yeah, I try not to get overweight so fast, you know. It's gradually it's gaining, but
Yeah.
I'm healthy now.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm just glad you're in one piece after an illustrious career as one of the greatest to ever do what you did. One of the greatest of all time. No one can ever take that from you, brother.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all your success. Love you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much.
All right, there you go. There goes Hall of Famer Edgar Prado. We're all done with one-on-one, and we will see you next Monday for one-on-one. And pay close attention coming up to hear about our next special guest. You'll hear about that before you know it. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week. Appreciate you tuning in. Take care.